On Wednesday, January 16th, the university hosted Unmasked, the collective work of the movement, in TUC's cinema as a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the unseen faces of the civil rights movement. The event focused on bringing light to the work of those who are not so much faces of a movement, but nonetheless worked tirelessly to bring about change during the civil rights era.
Each of us here today has that same capability to be an unsung hero. Some of us to be visionaries, some of us to be leaders, all of us to dream. Similar to those same individuals who fought behind the scenes and on the battleground for civil rights, for equality of all men created equal. It's equally important today as it was then.
I think back to great leaders and noted leaders of all the social movements in our young history. Frederick Douglass, Susan B. Anthony, and of course Dr. Martin Luther King. All of these leaders expressed dissatisfaction and shared the belief that our country was not yet living up to the promises of liberty. That although we claim all men are created equal, this was not the case. They, however, were not the only people who felt the need for change, because movements are more than just one single individual. A movement is collective and it is collaborative. And as Dr. King said, we cannot walk alone.
This is by Langston Hughes. It's called The Negro Speaks of Rivers. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood and human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. And I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
As we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, let us understand the famous "I Had a Dream" speech is not merely an unconscious fantasy of well wishes and aspirational hopes of tomorrow. No, my friend, it is a conscious call for action and a forcible resolve to change. As Dr. King states, as we come a long way since that travesty of justice was perpetuated on the American mind. Dr. James Weldon Johnson puts it this way in a poem, and he says, "We have overcome a way that as tears had been watered. We have come treading our paths through the blood of the slaughter. Out of the gloomy past to now, at last we stand, where the white gleam of our bright stars are cast." As I look out this audience today, I see our bright stars. We shall overcome. Now don't die. Someday. We'll walk hand in hand. It's the way we used to do it, Brother Ryan. That's the way we walk for miles. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand.